Six has found interest in a bucket. It's a very nice bucket, Six. Just, you can get out the bucket, Six. We got place. Stop wiping your nose. We got places to be, Six. Thinking about it, I always wondered, like, where did Six just get this random lighter? That's my question. It's like, where do you just find this, like, random lighter? Like an in-game explanation is that she just found it lying somewhere in the mall. But I wonder what would have been, like, would have made sense with the story and basically how, like, the game plays out, like, in order. Like, Little Nightmares 2, then Little Nightmares, the DLCs. Mono gave her the lighter. That would be a very sweet in-game explanation that would probably explain what Six had been doing these, 6 months that she's been on the mall?
Had to do a little bit of searching, but I did find a bit of an image of what I'm talking about. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of the video.
Or, like, what? And no, this isn't going into a video, but...
That was a fucking lie.
These are just, genuine questions that I have. And here's the game stunting on us again with these graphics. Sheesh, this game is, 5 years old? I forgot. It released in 2017. Yeah. Oh. I didn't want to do that. Frick. I wanted to talk about something up there. I guess we'll frickin' have a freeze frame of it.
Basically, what I wanted to talk about here was that basically, you see that little chair in the corner over there? Yeah. I wanted to bring up the theory of, that we know how these games were released and all that stuff. And going by chronological order, Little Nightmares 1 comes after Little Nightmares 2. And I was going to make a bit of an assumption that these are all just hints. Because, in game order, these just seem like hints to the next game. But when you play Little Nightmares 2, you really got to come back to Little Nightmares 1. And then you'll see all the hints and references of all that. And one of the most obvious ones is a hat, a very tall hat, sitting on a chair, which is obviously referencing Mono, the thinned man. So, yeah, just a cool little detail.
Also, another thing I want to point out is, of how good this game probably would be in VR. Now, look, I don't ask for much, but let me play this game in VR. I guarantee you it'll make $1 million. Because trust me, this game as a horror experience in VR would do numbers. I know it's a bit of a far stretch. This game released in 2018. It's probably not going to be revamped at this stage and point, since we are, the second game came out in 2021, which was 4 years ago at this point. Which was 4 years ago at this point. And now, here in 2025, we're about to get another game from Bandai Namco. Oh, Jesus. From Bandai Namco, Little Nightmares 3, which, of course, I'm very excited for that. Even though it is a bit unrewarding that we kind of have to just push Six's and Mono's story to the side. Because I feel like there is more that can be told with their stories. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I do feel like there's more that could be told with their stories if they ever did please to. Because, you could have maybe the Thin Man show up in Little Nightmares 3 and, really because I have no doubt that Little Nightmares 3 takes place in the same universe. I don't think they revamped it, as I don't know of. But also another thing I want to talk about here as well. Oh, there's the janitor. This part is already set up, just like in the DLC where we saw that girl set this up. But yeah, like I just do feel like there is more that can be told with not only Mono's but Six's story. I don't have a feeling that we're just gonna leave Mono and Six behind and we're just gonna just skim past it, because they've been the two main characters of the not only just the first but the second Little Nightmares game that came out. So I have every doubt that they'll just sweep it under the rug, which I don't believe they will. Since, of course, when you think of Little Nightmares, you either think of Sasha Six, you think of Mono, you think of the Thinned Man, you think of the lady, you think of all of that when you think of them. And it's like, yeah, there's like so much more that could be told with their stories. Also, I want to talk about something else, and this is not Little Nightmares 1 or 2 related, but it's Little Nightmares 3 related. Is that, you know how the characters' names are like Low and Alone? I find it very funny, oh god, that one of their names is Alone. And Mono's name means one, which also means alone. There's a condition, I don't remember what it's called. It's mono something that like means you're like afraid of being alone, which is a very, like, I know that's probably reaching as all hell, and I totally get that. It's like, also, what's up here? Jesus Christ, Six. Yeah, like, I know that's a bit of a stretch, but Low doesn't think it has anything to do with Six, because Six isn't low. Well, she's short. If that's the detail you want to go with. She's short. She's maybe about the same height as Mono, but again, I do really like the ideal that alone means frickin' one. That Mono means frickin' one, and there's a condition called Mono something that means afraid of being alone. And Mono means one, so obviously he's alone. Oh god, Six. Like, yeah, I just find that a very cool detail. I know it's reaching, and I know it's just pointless commodity. But that would be a really cool explanation that alone is also a hint at Mono as well, but I don't believe it is. Probably not. Also, is that a male or a female? Eat it, Six. But yeah. I just find that a really cool detail that they named one character Mono. And then they go on to name another character Alone. I find that hilarious. It's like, because I know that had to be somewhat intentional. A reason I have all these thoughts is because it's like, these are like the thoughts I've accumulated throughout like my playthroughs of the game. Stuff that I haven't really said on camera. I think I've said like the thing about the thinned man being that hung person when at the start of the game. I think I said that in my playthrough, but it's like that's the simple crap that you would go back to and think about when you finish Little Nightmares 2, because it's like, it makes so much sense, but it also doesn't. because I know they've already like retconned that that hanging man is not Mono. I know they did that since I saw it on the internet, but it's like there's so many little hints and so many little Easter eggs that you wouldn't think of much at first, but then when you finish the game, you finish the second game, and now you kind of realize that, oh, these hats sitting on chairs, these TVs are all a very much big reminder of oh yeah, these have been hints the entire time, like, which I believe that probably was Bandai Namco's intentions, was to add these little Easter eggs. And then there's the post-credit scene of the DLC where you show that TV, which in game order is not that much of an explanation. Which is not much of an explanation. What I'm trying to say is, Jesus Christ, I stutter a lot. And it's obvious, but basically what I'm trying to say is that, Jesus Christ, where did I go? Yeah, but basically what I'm trying to say is that it's so weird, because it's like, I forgot what I was going to say. Jesus Christ. Oh god. I'm gonna have to rewatch back the recording. Figure out what I was talking about. Okay, yeah, I was talking about the post-credit scene. Like, when you really do think about it, everything that has to do with like the Thin Man, like the hat sitting on chairs, these TVs. It really makes you think, because now, like, when you look at these in game order, you wouldn't think anything of it, because like Little Nightmares 1 came out before Little Nightmares 2. Little Nightmares 2 is also a prequel to Little Nightmares 1, plus the comics that I don't even know if they're canon or not. I don't even know if those comics are canon to the Little Nightmare story, because there's like so many different explanations as to what. But then there's those explanations that you don't really get. But yeah, like, I believe now, like, everything is a hint, and that post-credit scene of the DLC, I think, really gets my point across. Is because if you think about it, in game order, that was just setting up the next game. But when you think about it in events order, in chronological order, then 6 is obviously... Mono has obviously been watching 6. Has ever so obviously been watching 6. And I see that as a very cool little detail that I don't think people really understand now. But yeah, that's my thought on it. I'm sorry if I rambled on for 2 clips about that. It was just a random thought I had. Get up here. There we go. Did it. I want to talk about something else. As we know, I'm working on the frickin' Very Little Nightmares mobile game, which, again, as I said, I still don't know if like the comics or that game is canon to the story, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that game takes place after Little Nightmares 2, and before Little Nightmares 1. And I think so does the Secret of the Moth DLC, which is kind of weird since, well, that game is actually the least expensive game of the bunch. That game is actually the most least expensive when it comes to the Little Nightmares games, because the first game's $20, the second game's like $30. and now that game was like 7. So it's like, so it's kind of weird. So I don't know if it's exactly canon, but if it is, then it probably takes place like right after Little Nightmares 2. And like, yeah, as I said, I have like a lot of questions about these games that I hope like that Little Nightmares 3 will answer, and I'll probably have a lot more questions during Little Nightmares 3. So yeah, I just wanted to freaking ramble on about that. And also, I do want to talk about like the pictures and all that stuff, like in the DLC. That room with all the pictures. With the pictures of these people. Like, and I think I saw like the teacher in there. Like, I think I pointed it out in that video. That I saw like the teacher in there. In that room. And I was like, you'd be thinking, like, how do you even get that? It's like, dude, it's a part of the game. Like, Naughty Dog wants you to figure that out. They don't expect you to figure it out so soon. But it's a real fun detail that I like, that they're keeping the authenticity of the games. That they're not, like, kind of leaving story elements unturned. That's, like, one of the bigger parts of these games. Like, one of the questions I have about these games. Alright, 10 here. But yeah, like, I love how they keep everything authentic and it's not too, like, spaced out. Also, instead of the hypothetical questions, I want to talk about something. I know 6 has now, like, an elevated hunger as a result of the second game. But we literally just fed her, like, in the other room. Like literally not even 2 stages ago. Like, literally, like, maybe about 10 minutes ago in the game. And she's already hungry again. Like, dude, does this stuff just go through you? Does this stuff just, like, go through her? Like, dude, your digestive system is as freaking fragile as my attention span. And this is gonna go terribly, because we know what happens. Grab the piece of meat. Yep, just... oh, God. And she eats it so violently, which makes me believe, because she is a cannibal. We know that. And, well, there it is. That's what I was waiting for.
This mental pressure got me popping pills and shit, but I'm